it's like I heard some shit about he has clothes on or something. I don't know. Like I don't really know if all this is true, but I just heard parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right.
And then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me.
Mm-hmm.
I never really heard anything tangible or true, like what happened to my guy.
Everybody's been whispering for years that Pimp C's death wasn't just another tragic loss in hip-hop, it was a setup. Word is, he had a secret tape involving Beyonce that he planned to leak, and Jay-Z wasn't about to let that happen. Allegedly, things got real dark before that footage ever saw the light of day. Now guess who just stirred the pot? Pimp's own wife, Chinara Butler, has reportedly stepped up. And from what's floating around online, she's not buying the natural causes story one bit.
Who was in this Pimp C tape?
All I can tell you, there was a famous R&B chick, and it was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio. And every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it, but if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they had to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. Okay. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose.
She's been hinting at some major foul play, and folks are now giving Beyonce some serious side-eye across the internet. The streets are talking loud, and they're saying Cara's holding on to some wild receipts. She's allegedly sitting on a tell-all bombshell that could shake the whole industry. According to some online chatter, back in the early 2000s, Beyonce might have been way more outside than anybody realized, way messier than the clean image the world saw. Some even claim the rumors about her and Pimp C having a little something going on might not be rumors at all. And if that's true, baby, this tea is way too hot to sip without oven mitts. Now let's rewind real quick. Pimp C co-founded UGK with Bun B in 1987 down in Port Arthur, Texas. They started grinding on an indie label called Big Time Records, dropped 2 local projects, The Southern Way and Band, in '92. And that hustle landed them a deal with Jive Records the same year.
Then our life just went to having Christian, him going to jail. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with him through this, help however I can. And we decided then we were gonna get married.
UGK's second album, Super Tight, dropped in '94 and had critics and fans going crazy. It didn't just hit, it charted at number 95 on the Billboard 200 and flew up to number 9 on the R&B hip-hop albums chart. They were officially on the map and climbing fast. By '96, UGK was on fire. Their third album, Ridin' Dirty, became a straight-up classic and their biggest hit at the time. It shot to number 2 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart and landed at number 15 on the Billboard 200. That was Texas rap taking over the nation. But just when things were heating up, the duo stepped back from the game for a minute in the late 90s. Luckily, they made a strong comeback in 2000 and did it with a bang. They linked up with Jay-Z on his hit single Big Pimpin', and that track went nuts, peaking at number 18. Then came Sippin' on Some Syrup with 3-6 Mafia, which hit number 30 and had the streets buzzing hard. Those 2 collabs didn't just bring UGK back, they elevated them. Their reputation went from respected to legendary, and fans were thirsty for a new album, but out of nowhere, boom, another roadblock. In 2002, Pimp C got sentenced to 8 years behind bars. It shook the whole Southern rap scene. UGK had to pause again, and both Pimp and Bun B went off to build solo lanes while the fans were left waiting. Pimp C's first solo album, The Sweet James Jones Stories, dropped in March 2005, packed with heat he recorded before his prison time. Even locked up, the man stayed working. Then after finally getting out in December 2005, he didn't waste a second. By July 2006, he hit hard with Pimpalation.
And she was trained at the esteemed Berkeley College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
That album exploded, peaking at number 3 on the Billboard, 200 and straight up owning the top spot on the R&B hip-hop chart. But just as he was rising back to the top, tragedy struck. In late 2007, Pimp C was out in West Hollywood staying at the Mondrian Hotel while cooking up new tracks and linking up with 2 Hort for shows. He was putting in work, getting back to his roots, and planning to head home. His wife, who he'd married while locked up in 2003, was already at the airport with his cousin, waiting to welcome him back.
We set it up a meeting to go meet with Dame Dad. So we go, after I leave Jive, I go to Rock, to the Rock. As soon as I sit down there, Dame Dash opened up his checkbook, cut a check for $1 million. I'm like, whoa. I was like, is this for sure? He's like, no. He said, we want to UGK. I was like, what? He's like, we want to split your boys.
That's right.
So I immediately picked up the phone and called Pimp C. Because all I was trying to get was 100,000. When Dame cut that $1 million, I called Pimp on the phone like, yo, Pimp, and him and Jamal was in the house. And I could hear a tussle or some type of confrontation, right? And I'm like, calm down, bro. Y'all calm down, Pimp.
I ran up the cable bill.
They was fighting. Okay, they was fighting like hard. And I'm like, Pimp, stop whatever you doing right now. I told you what's going down with Jamal when you moved him up in there. I said, but right now, I got $1 million check for you. And all we wanted was 100,000. I was just like, who is that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm watching Dan with the checkbook, he writing out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check to go give it to Tupac Mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my shit. I was like, what?
But the morning of his flight, everything went silent. No call, no check-in. His wife got worried and asked the hotel to send someone up. What they found was heartbreaking. Pimp C was unresponsive in his room. Paramedics were called, but it was too late. He was gone. The coroner ruled his death accidental, saying it was from a deadly mix of lean and his battle with sleep apnea. Let's be real. Pimp C's death never sat right with a lot of people. The whole situation just felt off. And the biggest rumor that started floating, that Jay-Z had something to do with it, all because Pimp was allegedly ready to leak a tape involving Beyonce. That alone had folks connecting dots real fast. DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia even spoke out, saying things didn't add up at all. According to him, Pimp's own manager described finding him in a position like he was praying, but there was blood around, like something violent had gone down. They even thought he might have been hit in the head, but no one could explain it. There was blood everywhere. DJ Paul said it clear. Pimp was found kneeling like he'd been in prayer, and the candles in his room had burned all the way down. That detail hit hard, because everybody knew Pimp always lit candles to sleep. So if they burned that low, he'd probably been gone for at least a whole day. And it wasn't just Paul raising eyebrows. 2 Hort also spoke up, saying the whole thing felt sketchy to him too. He told Hip Hop, I can't believe it. It's been over 10 years, and some people still can't shake the feeling that Pimp C's death just don't make sense. One person even said, I still haven't been able to accept it, and honestly, who can blame them? There's just too many celebs being found dead alone in hotel rooms under the strangest circumstances. It's like a pattern. And yeah, people been bringing up the 27 Club too. Look it up. It's creepy as hell. Now here's where it gets wild. Long before Pimp's passing, there was already some real tension between him and Jay-Z. And on an episode of The Art of Dialogue, record exec Greg Taylor dropped a story that raised even more eyebrows. According to Greg, right after Jay-Z and UGK locked in the big Pimpin' collab, Jay called Pimp C to share the news. But here's the twist. It was on speakerphone, and what happened next? Straight disrespect. Right on the call, Pimp C didn't hold back. He dissed Jay-Z to his face on speaker and told him that instead of trying to hand them money, he should send it to Tupac's mom. Yeah, he really said that.
So he's like, wait a minute, how many dudes are there? And so she's like, oh, it's about 9 or 10 guys, I guess, over there. Where are they now? They're in here, they're in the soundstage, they're kind of watching, watching her film. What is she wearing? They describe the outfit, and he's like, yo, clear the room.
Wow.
So they immediately come over to us, and they kick all of us out, and send us up to our dressing rooms.
Wow.
And we're told to stay there until we have to shoot.
Okay.
We're not allowed to watch Beyonce dance anymore in the video.
The room went dead silent, because nobody saw it coming. Now don't ask why Pimp said what he said, because even the people who were there didn't know. But if you know Pimp C, then you know he always spoke from the heart, raw, unfiltered, and fearless. Maybe he was making a point about respect, maybe it was deeper, but either way, that moment left a mark. And as for whether Pimp ever had direct interaction with Beyonce, there was one story that's always stuck with folks. Bun B once shared how they were in the studio with Beyonce, and guess who else was in the room? Pimp C. But then Jay-Z called in to check who was around. And when he heard Beyonce was dressed a little spicy, he flipped. Word is, he demanded every man, especially Pimp C, get out the room immediately. And it didn't stop there. Bun B also recalled another situation where Beyonce's own father reportedly warned Pimp C not to get too close to his daughter. That's already telling, right? Now here's where it gets even messier. Jay-Z's reaction wasn't just about being overprotective. According to the whispers, it had everything to do with the rumors. That tape Pimp supposedly had. And the streets saying Beyonce might have been more wild back then than her image let on. Some of those rumors weren't just about guys either. People have been saying for years that Beyonce might have had flings with both men and women. One story that keeps resurfacing is about Emil, the rapper who did I Got That with Bey. Allegedly, Emil said Beyonce was in love with her and was actually queer. Now good luck trying to find that interview. It's practically scrubbed off the face of the earth. But the streets ain't forget. And some say that moment might have played a role in why Emil's career vanished with no warning. Now let's talk about another interview that mysteriously vanished off the internet. This one came from Lady Gaga while she was talking about working with Beyonce on telephone. She said, "We had an amazing time working together on her video, and it just kind of works out because we both like women." Yeah, she really said that. Now maybe Gaga meant Beyonce likes supporting women. But come on. People instantly caught that slip and started wondering if she meant it literally. That one quote lit up the blogs back in the day, but now you won't find it anywhere. Gone. And that's not the only thing that's disappeared. Way back, there was a wild report floating around saying Beyonce was spotted at the Box, you know, that infamous burlesque club in NYC, with 3 girlfriends, posted up heavy behind bodyguards and curtains. Not just a chill night out either. She was deep into the show. The source claimed Bey was standing on the VIP balcony table, cheering like crazy while 2 performers went all the way, stripping down and licking each other's feet.
And Matthew Knowles comes in and he asks Pimp, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And so they leave out for a couple of minutes, and Pimp comes in and he's dying laughing. And we're like, what's wrong? He's like, "Yo, Matthew Knowles just told me don't f his daughter, man. Please don't. Please, my daughter."
Word is, she didn't dip out early either. She stayed till 3:30 a.m. like she owned the spot. But wait, there's more. Another first-hand account, also mysteriously wiped, came from a woman who said that while dancing at a club, she ended up sitting on Beyonce's lap. And allegedly, Beyonce leaned in and whispered, "Don't start something you can't finish." There's one more rumor that keeps creeping back up. Some say Beyonce had a real close relationship with her female guitar player back in the day, one that went way beyond just music. That guitarist was featured on her tours a lot, and the whispers behind the scenes were getting loud. So yeah, folks have been saying for years that Bey was moving a little wild during her early come-up, and that's exactly why so many believe that tape with Pimp C might actually be real. It's not just smoke. Some say there's fire behind all this, and that fire might still be hiding in someone's vault. Allegedly, Pimp C's widow has been hinting that she's holding back on some stories that could seriously shake the image of certain powerful names. And Beyonce might be one of them. That's got the internet watching her every move, waiting for a shoe to drop. But real talk, if the tape does exist, wouldn't that destroy Pimp C's legacy too? If Bey wasn't of age and it was filmed without her consent, that's a whole other level of wrong. So then why is this all bubbling up now? Who's trying to bring this back to the surface? And for what reason? Honestly, I'm just trying to make sense of it like everyone else. But what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want more raw breakdowns like this. And I'll see you on the next one.